Let's just get the obvious out of the way. The Philadelphia Eagles should win this football game on Sunday. Now, I know the arguments over just benching the starters, letting them sit out and rest for the wild card weekend and all of that. But if there's a chance that the Eagles could win the division, they're not going to sit their starters. And neither are the Dallas Cowboys. Because anything can happen in these divisional games. Both the Eagles and the Cowboys have had their way with these two division rivals this year. But the Commanders do put up a fight. And we saw that in their last game against the Cowboys, where up until the fourth quarter, they were right there with them, and then they just kind of imploded. We'll see how it goes this Sunday, but we can all expect that the Cowboys are going to win the division because the Eagles, on two separate occasions, gifted it to them, handed it on a silver platter, right to the doorstep of Jerry Jones. But that's besides the point. I wanted to talk about reasons behind why this team is probably going to win and what will hold them back if they don't win. And the same goes for in the playoffs, but we'll get to the playoffs eventually. First and foremost, despite the offense struggling, it is very clear that nothing is happening how we perceive it with, issues on the sideline, this, that, and the other. Of course, there are things that they're not going to tell us, the players, the coaches. It's business as usual. But at the same time, it sounds like everyone's on the same page, and that is they want to figure things out and that there is no bad blood with anybody in the locker room when it comes to how the offense is being run. They just need to execute it as players. A.J. Brown said what he said, probably single-handedly saved the Eagles season, or at least gave it a chance to be something once again. He was the one that needed to say that. People want to talk about Jalen Hurts needing to step up and stand for himself and voice his reasoning, be the voice of reason regarding how the offense is being. But at the same time, there's only so much your quarterback can do when most of the time it's not the quarterback's fault that it's happening. Outside of a few games, obviously, he's had some hiccups like the Jets. The Seahawks game wasn't very pretty. But even so, last week, perfect game up until the ending where that interception has to get thrown on the stat sheet when in reality it was a last-ditch effort on the very last play of the game in a situation where coaching and the defense specifically completely and utterly collapsed in the second half. So there's not much your offense can do, even if the play calling is suspect, to say the least. I'm more concerned about the defense. Darius Slay is practicing again, which is fantastic news. But we're probably not going to see him against the Giants unless if something changes within Friday to right now to Sunday. We'll see. I doubt it. And honestly, I'd rather it not be like that because, again, MetLife is enough of a risk by itself. Coming back from your injury on that turf, no go. Don't do it. Do not do it. But it really, for me, it's just the defense. That's where I'm most concerned. That is my main issue outside of coaching. Because this defense has turned into one of the most solid ones this year, especially against the run, to one of the worst in all facets. And it's really, really jarring. And it can't even be put on Desai or Patricia. I genuinely they just have not been playing good. Since late October, they have not been playing, or take that back, since mid-November, they have not been playing good football. And it shows when you see how many points had started to rack up and who they ended up losing against during that time. And it's bad, And it's the worst time to have this sort of thing happen. But at the end of the day, they just need to come together and figure it out. And if they don't, then changes might have to be made, or just got to get better personnel, I guess, right? Now, the coaches definitely have the most to do with it, and they got to figure it out. So we'll see what happens there. Eagles are probably going to win this game. I know coming off the Cardinals game, it's kind of hard to say that, but they realistically should. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's all I got. Let me know what your thoughts are for the Giants game in the comments down below, and I will see you on Sunday. As always, Fly Eagles Fly. We ride or die with A.J. Brown, and that's the fact.